everyone, and this is Adhyatam Verma here. Today I would like to talk about some technicalities of photography and videography. So I would like to tell you that you must know your camera well. Before getting into all that, I must tell you that no matter how much cheap or expensive camera you buy, it's all about the practice and the time you put in. Without practice, these tutorials are nothing. So the most basic thing about the photography is light. Light is all that surrounds you while you are photographing a subject. When we talk about the camera, light can be adjusted through ISO. Now ISO is the element that helps you to monitor and control the amount of light you want to allow into your camera sensor. ISO helps you to place a correct exposure and control how sensitive your camera is towards light. In a broad daylight, we use low ISO like 80, 100 or 200. In the evening, we can go up to 800 or 1000 or even 1600 and further beyond at night. The higher the light, lower is the ISO. So it's like something you can say it's proportion to it. The next thing, a shutter speed decides the amount of time your camera shutter shall be opened against the light. Again, you see the light plays a lot of role in it. A shutter speed decides how much time light shall enter into your camera. For example, capturing a moving car in a high speed requires a high shutter speed in broad daylight, but capturing it at night might require a bit slower shutter speed with a higher ISO. The more the light, the higher is the shutter speed, and vice versa. The third thing that comes into the triangle of photography is the aperture. Aperture decides the depth of an image. In a layman's language, you can say it is the blur part in a photograph. How much blur do you want? The higher the aperture, the higher is the blur in a photograph. When you change an aperture, you are not only changing the blurred part along with the dynamic range of a photograph, but also the depth of field and the amount of light too. Now, these are some three basic things that you must know before getting into photography. These are called triangle of photography. Once you master the light element of the camera, you have automatically mastered these things. Making documentaries, clicking photographs, doing videography will be much easier to you, and you can perform in a way better form. Now, I'm going to talk about something called zoom. That's the thing actually we have been using quite a lot. But do you know that there are two types of zoom? One is optical zoom and other is digital zoom. Optical zoom is the zoom that is done by the hardware, just like the lens of a camera. It means when you zoom to a distant object through your lens, there is no loss in terms of picture quality. It is as same as you have moved closer to that object. But when talking about digital zoom is the zoom that is done by the software of the camera. Although you may be able to zoom to a distant object, the picture quality gets reduced massively. You will be seeing a lot of pixelated parts or grains in your picture. I do not recommend our photographer using a digital zoom as it depreciates the quality of a picture. Also, bonus tip I would like to tell you all those who are interested in photography, I would like to suggest to everyone not to over edit your photographs ever. Beginners actually do this by mistake, or maybe you can say intentionally, as it fascinates them, but it's not the good thing that you should keep doing. Keeping a photograph in its natural form is what we expect. That's actually the core when talking about a real photography. So keep in mind that editing plays a lot of role in photography, and keeping it in a very natural form is the main core thing that you must obey.